after the fire, and they rebuilt in South Church after the fire. They found some historical things that they put up, and one of them was the seating chart from like 1860 something or 70 or 80 something, and it had the seating chart of all the places where the people had basically, you know, pledged to get their pew, and so it was where all the families sat. So it was a seating chart.
No, I hadn't seen that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, fortunately, by the time you and I got to church, there were no seating charts.
Nope.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
Hmm.
And the pews began to fill after that.
Yes, absolutely. When did you come to First Church?
Well, we joined in 1951.
51.
Yeah.
Wow. And who was the minister then?
McKinney.
Okay. Yeah. Ned Burr McKinney. Yeah.
No, yeah, isn't that his name? He went to California.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Bill was in college when we were married. And we'd be home for the summer. And we visited around at the various churches. I grew up a Baptist.
Oh, okay. In Indiana?
In Indiana,
Yeah, wow.
Southern Baptist. And he had been to Sunday school out at St. Paul's. They had a Sunday school in the community building out there.
Oh, be darned.
So we visited around different churches and found First Church by far the most friendly to some young people that were
That's great.
and so that's where we ended up joining. And
That's wonderful. So 1951?
1951,
Wow. So you've been a member for a while.
49 and 16,
Yeah.
60 some years.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the last 10, it's certainly been different.
Yeah. I'll bet.
I just don't feel right not getting to church
I
on Sunday
know.
morning, but I do try to get to Vespers here.
Yeah, that's great.
So,
Yeah.
but no choir,
Yeah.
which is part of church.
Yeah.
And we might sing 2 verses of one hymn.
Yeah.
That's not enough. I don't sing well, but I like to try.
Well, Amelia and I are going to do the first Sunday Vespers in November here.
Oh,
And
We'll
so,
be here.
Amelia, I'm going to make her sing.
Yeah, because he always has to twist my arm, you know.
I just can't imagine.
Yeah.
But, well, I don't say this to make you feel worse, but personally, I so miss you out there, right there,
Well,
in your spot.
yeah, and you know, I tried to get to church whether
Yeah.
we had a snowstorm or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
It just, well, I've brought up Sunday school and church every Sunday.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
And just doesn't seem the same.
yeah, yeah. I know you were really close to Don Jennings and his family when they were there, and those were such wonderful years in our church, I think. I got there right after he did.
Really?
Because when I was the chaplain here from 76 to 78, he and I started to become colleagues here because he had so many members at Havenwood. And so through my connection with Don, I decided to join the church in
And
78.
what a blessing you have been to us.
I agree. Wholeheartedly.
Yeah, he's so talented. Your sermons are Tim's sermons.
Yep.
Well, it comes out of the community, you know, it's a great community. It's a great, collection of folk through the years that have, as you found when you first went there, that have, been looked out for each other.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And those older women that worked on church suppers and
Yeah.
after Dick and Marguerite Edmonds' memorial service,
Yes.
Dawn and Bertie came up and spent an hour with
Oh,
me.
that's wonderful.
I was so thankful.
Oh,
They
bet
just,
you were.
they had to get back for a meeting that night, but they stayed on, and I thought, oh, I don't want you to hurry back now anyway. But they were good friends.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you raised your kids in the church.
Oh, yeah.
I know, yeah.
Yes.
Great to see your kids at your birthday party. That was great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Many great.
Marcella married a Jewish man, her first marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And when their first daughter came, she joined the Jewish faith.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That hurt a bit, but I figured, so be it. And she was just married this last June, Laura. And
Wonderful.
in their vows, they wrote their vows. He's African American
Mm-hmm.
and came from Virginia. And Tom said, I grew up a Southern Baptist, and Laura here is Jewish tradition, but we're getting along fine.
That is so great. That's 21st century America right
That's
there.
right.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, in a
That's
wonderful way. Yeah. Yeah.
And they had a book. The lady that was the official photographer, they had her put a book together for me.
Oh.
I said, well, how many copies of this did you have made? Oh, just this one.
Just for you.
Yeah, but she's my only granddaughter. The rest of them are boys.
What a thrill. What a thrill.
Well, we've had a wonderful family, and
Yeah.
Marcella hasn't forgotten growing up in First Church.
No, I'm sure. I know she hasn't.
No.
Yeah. And what a, your kids have, I know you're so proud of them for good
Yeah.
reason. Yeah. Yeah.
But now, Glenn, I don't know what I did wrong. He says, I made him go to church too long. Which hurts.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Sunday morning we went to church.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's how the journey started.
but there couldn't be a nicer, compassionate person than
Absolutely.
he anywhere.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
they adopted a little boy when he was 2.5, and they discovered he's bipolar, and he has given them so many problems. And I says, well, Glenn, he's 23 now. Can't you just let him go on his own? He says, Mom, if I did that, he wouldn't have another friend. I can't do that.
There you go. There's the light. The light shining through your son.
Right,
Yeah.
and he's joined Al-Anon just to give him support for helping Nick.
Great.
Wow.
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
goes to their state Al-Anon convention, helps plan programs for them. And
That's great.
Yeah.
so he may have sputtered and got tired of me insisting on his going to church, but at least it shows.
Yeah. Yeah. The light comes through him in a different way, but it comes
Yeah.
through. Yeah. That's wonderful. Yeah. 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 Oh, that's great. Well, it's quite a journey from starting as a Southern Baptist in Indiana to,
I was baptized in a creek.
that's how the immersion happened. Must have been in the spring, so it was deep enough to get you all the way
Well,
down
no.
under.
It was a creek.
In what part of Indiana?
well, it's Newark is the
Oh,
little
that's-
village I grew up in, but it's near Bloomington. Bloomfield's the county seat,
Uh-huh, yeah,
southwestern part.
yeah. Wow.
How old were you when you were baptized?
Probably 17 or 18. I don't remember the
Yeah.
exact date.
Yeah.
I was working in Indianapolis.
Wow.
Wow.
You have to be old enough to make the decision.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you come forward and kneel at the altar and are saved.
Yeah.
Pardon my...
Yeah,
Exactly,
no.
It's the tradition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still remember the first time I went to a Baptist church in my town growing up in Ohio, and here they pulled back this curtain, and here's this little mini or large fish tank, it looked like. And down in with the robe went the pastor and the
Well, this
young
is just a
woman
little
being
country
baptized.
church, so they
Yeah.
couldn't afford
Couldn't
a
afford
ton.
No.
couldn't afford a tank. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's very biblical. Baptized in the river.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, certainly it seems like life in the congregational tradition came to suit you, that's for sure, because nobody did more in and for our church than you did.
Oh, Tim, I must dispute that. So many of you did more. I felt, I just didn't feel capable of standing up and talking that much.
Well, but your
It
work
was
in the
in late-
trustees was wonderful, my
Well.
goodness, yeah.
I like my arithmetic.
You and Richard,
Yeah.
you and Richard Edmonds.
Yeah. Well, we were on investment committee
Yes,
together.
exactly, I know, yeah.
Wow.
And
And now that work sustains us. When you think about it, that care of the investments now sustains us. Absolutely.
well, I was on deacons for 2 terms. And back when we washed those communion glasses every Sunday.
Yeah, got
Oh.
deacon's finger, they used to call it. Dry, wiping out the cups. You know, deacon's finger.
And
Interesting.
through the Women's Guild,
Yeah,
I held all the offices.
yes, yes, yeah, yeah, yeah,
King's Daughters,
yeah.
Female Charitable Society.
Yeah.
So,
And think of all the good that organization
Oh,
has done.
yeah.
The Guild and the Female Charitable.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
A lot of
but what are we here for? Not to just sit around,
Absolutely.
do nothing.
Right. That's right. We are called.
yeah. Yeah.
And I always find visiting with, whenever I run into you over here, that it's, you don't intend it, but you still give so much just by being yourself, you know?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I used to try to do 10% to different, mostly my church, but
Right?
charities. And I got that from my dad and mother.
Right.
And I figure it doesn't cost a darn thing to smile as you meet somebody going down the hall with look like they lost their last friend.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
A beaming smile. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that in of itself, that smile to somebody who needs a smile is obviously a testimony from where I sit to your faith and how it still sustains you, because you've had some hard times.
you better bet it.
Yeah.
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 But every one of those serious operations, or any time I went under anesthesia, it was a prayer to God. Thy will be done.
Yeah.
I hope to come through, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, that kidney stone one was nip and tuck, and the infection that I developed in my leg when I came here,
Yes.
that was a
It's
rough.
really rough. Yeah. But you've been sustained.
If I make it to November 30, it'll be 91.
Wow.
Woo!
Wow. Wow. That's unbelievable, huh?
I know, when I was a kid, I thought, do you think I'll live to see the year 2000?
Yeah.
75?
Yeah.
Here it is, 2016.
Yeah. Amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, and I've been so fortunate in so many ways. No problems with the kids. Having somebody say your son's down at the jail or nothing like that.
Yeah.
And gratitude. Yeah. A lot of gratitude.
But probably the worst thing that ever hit me was my divorce.
It's the worst thing that hit many of us. Yeah.
Bert Erickson said, Ruth, everybody thought you were the ideal couple. I said, well, I thought I was pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I think that's a time when faith in yourself as a person gets pretty shaken by divorce, and so it's a particular kind of time when your faith is really important.
Yeah.
That
Well,
God still believes in you.
if it hadn't been for my faith, my church and friends,
Right.
my family,
Right.
my kiddos, and my job that I had to get out of bed for,
Right. Right.
is what kept me going.
Absolutely. Now, good for you. Because you're still going. And that was a couple of years ago.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
30 some.
Yeah.
So, well, I've leveled my soul at you guys.
Well, for a good cause, we hope.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Oh, yeah.
I just think, Amelia has said to us that we are an elder-rich church, and I think she's right. And I think lifting up the spirits of those who are the reason that our church is here is really a wonderful thing to do. So,
Yeah.
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 But it just breaks your heart to have had all this happen and to be
Yeah.
so few of us left.
Yeah. 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 It does.
Yeah.
And you feel so helpless. All you can do is pray.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've actually been talking about that lately in sermons, that it's vitally important that everybody prays.
Yeah.
And there are so many folks, I think, who believe they don't know how to pray or can't pray, whether there isn't anything that God would want to hear about them praying. But I keep trying to reassure people, anything that you want to say and need to say, God will happily listen to. Anytime.
A lot gets repeated.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's okay.
That's what holds us. Yeah, that's what holds us. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And when you're in the hospital, Tim, those visits sure mean a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. The embodiment of church and faith is then, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's funny, I don't know that I've ever felt more connected to the church than I've felt these days. You know,
Really?
it's sort of ironic because, you know, our numbers are so reduced. But I think there's something about the spirit at the heart of the church these days. The church in the building, for those who gather in the church as a community where all of us, including you, are, it feels really just life-giving, you know, it really does. And there's this sense, I think, that Amelia has brought to us that, you know, we don't know what God's going to do with us, but we know God's going to do something.
You have that.
So, as my friend Bob says, stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think for me, reading through the scriptures, especially all of the stories in the Old Testament, with just the up and downs, the people, you know, the growth and depletion. I mean, there is this, I think, natural life cycle to when systems grow and when they get smaller, and I think we are in a space of that smallness, but you know, growing
We're gonna
out.
start
Yeah.
expanding.
Yeah.
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 Not only in numbers, but in sort of how the transformation that is possible, that God allows to happen through us. So.
And Amelia points out that we can expand virtually too
Yes.
by putting things out there through the internet, and that people experience us and are connected to us virtually. And you know, in our generation, that's not something we ever thought would be, we didn't even understand would ever happen or be possible. But there's so many ways to be connected. Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty neat.
I haven't met the new secretary yet.
Oh, Kathy.
Oh, she's wonderful.
Is she?
Yes, she is.
Did you
What
know
age
she's
lady is she?
close to mine?
Mid 60s?
Yeah.
Upper 60s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
50s?
Probably 60s. Mid 60s.
She's also an organist.
Really?
So having a secretary who can you know, back you up if you need backup is great.
Well, yes. But Bill's doing all right.
Oh yes.
yes.
But like if there's a service like during
Like
the week
Friday.
when he's teaching, like this Friday she'll do the service, yeah, for Milton Tasker. Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah, and she's just great. She
Where-
just got a brand new puppy who's 9 weeks old, and she brings it, you know, to work. Oh my gosh!
Let's hope she doesn't bring it during the memorial.
No.
Pass it around.
Yeah.
What, does she live in Concord?
Close. Boston. Pembroke?
Pembroke?
It
I
might be
think
Pembroke.
Pembroke,
Yeah.
yes.
Well,
Yeah.
that's not far.
No. And she loves it. I mean, she comes early to work to just sit and have a cup of coffee before actually starting work. You know, and I said, you don't actually start till 9. You know, she goes, I don't do any work. I just sit and have a cup of coffee in my office because it's just very peaceful, and she loves being there. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been really blessed with folk, and she's another person that we're blessed with who helps to create this welcoming, you know, feeling
Who is
in
it?
church. The secretary
Oh.
during the week. She and AJ, the custodian, and you know, Everett Sims, who's there now because he's the treasurer, and Carolyn Andrews, who's the financial secretary, and they're the core, and then Louise Parento's in a lot, and
Oh, yeah.
others with the food pantry, and Terry
Mike
Blake.
isn't well. She,
Right,
Ellie told me.
right,
Yeah.
right. But I think he's coming home maybe today.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
sooner than I thought. But yeah, he was in rehab at Pleasant View.
Presidential.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Louise and I share a birthday.
You do.
Oh.
Date, not years.
Oh, that's neat. I didn't realize that. November 30th. Yeah.
She's, of course, grew up on a dairy farm. And so we talk a lot the same language.
Yeah.
Same chores and
Mm.
other kinds of things.
Yeah.
Growing
Yeah.
up. Neat.
Yeah.
But you know, Female Charitable was one of the most satisfying organizations I think I've ever worked with.
Yeah. The good they've done and they continue to do.
And when the church and the Female Charitable and Concord Hospital got that big monetary gift, it was so helpful. And we had a CPA who was our treasurer at the time, so she was very helpful in
That's great.
getting
That's
things
great.
going.
And talk about history, you know, that was started by, you know, the minister's wife back in the...
10 cents a year
Yeah,
for dues.
yeah,
we will.
yeah, yeah. Started in the middle 1800s somewhere?
No, it's, I think, around 1812.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, maybe not that early. I've read that that constant preamble for so many times.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it goes way back to when, of course, Reverend McFarland was there for a long time, but...
Oh, 50 some years.
Yeah,
Yep. One of the two.
Yeah.
yeah.
But it just, well, getting to know women from other churches
Yes,
and
yes.
having a little bit to pass out here and there.
Yeah. Yeah, helping young people.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Especially with the milk program and
Scholarships.
yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Light bills,
Yeah.
heating oil.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, that's great. Well, I think that's, you know, clearly part of what reinforces faith is when you're part of things that you can tell are growing the world in good ways and helping people. It helps to grow your faith and keep you reinforced, keep you going. Yeah, during times like you've had more recently.